What awaits us after we close our eyes and breathe our last breath? Is death the end for everything, or is it a doorway to a new world that we are not aware of? Surely many of us have had similar questions. The spiritual world has always been a topic of great interest. And humans are still trying to find answers to the question of whether the other world truly exists or not. The concept of the afterlife appears in almost every culture and religion around the world. Each culture or religion has its own perception of this world. But most of us have a common belief that death is not the complete end of a life. According to this belief, when a person dies, the soul will leave the body and transform into a non-physical state. Some believe that life continues after death in a spiritual realm, while others believe that the soul can be reincarnated into this world and start a new life, leaving behind memories from their past lives. The belief in the afterlife can be seen as a counterpoint to the idea that death makes humans forgotten. Many religions believe that what awaits humans in the afterlife is a direct result of what they have achieved in their previous life. Each person will have to pay for the sins they have committed, or in other words, what you sow is what you reap. Where you will go after death also depends on your religion and beliefs. For example, the ancient Egyptians believed that all souls would go to the kingdom of the dead and perform the tasks that the god Osiris required at the Uru field as a reward for Osiris' protection. If you are Greek, you would cross the river Styx to reach the underworld under the rule of the god Hades. If you believe in Buddhism, the 18 levels of hell and the 10 courts of hell are where you pay for your sins. According to the Catholic belief, the soul after death will undergo judgment. Only the pure souls can step into heaven, while the souls with sins will be sent to hell. Heaven, hell, the underworld. Each religion has a different name for the place they believe to be the afterlife. That's from a religious perspective. What about from a scientific perspective? The soul or the spiritual world is not just a product of pure imagination. And this topic has been of great interest to scientists for thousands of years. In 1882, an organization called the Society for Psychical Research was established to investigate phenomena related to spirituality and the afterlife. The members of the society are still conducting scientific research on mysterious phenomena to this day. There is a famous study conducted in 1901 by American physicist Duncan McDougall, who measured the weight of dying patients to prove that the soul is a tangible substance that can be measured. McDougall's study showed that there was a difference of about 21 grams in the weight of a human body before and after death. Additionally, hypnosis was also a method previously used to recover past life memories of individuals who were hypnotized. In modern times, research on the spiritual world often focuses on examining near-death experiences. Those who have been very close to the boundary between life and death are the most suitable subjects for studying the other world. In 2008, a large-scale study was conducted by the University of Southampton on 2,060 patients from 15 hospitals in the United Kingdom, the United States, and Austria. The research team claimed to have found compelling evidence of out-of-body experiences in clinically dead patients. Previously, scientists believed that the brain stopped all activity only 30 seconds after the heart stopped pumping blood to the body, and consciousness also stopped at the same time. However, the University of Southampton study produced a different result, stating that humans still have the ability to perceive for about 3 minutes after death. Dr. Sam Parnia, the head of the research team, stated that contrary to popular belief, death is not a specific moment but a process that can be reversed after the heart, lungs, and brain stop functioning. If the reversal process is successful, it is called the reversal phenomenon, and if it fails, it becomes death. Of the 2,060 patients interviewed about surviving after the cessation of their heart, 40% claimed they could recall their consciousness after being declared clinically dead. Even 2% of the patients reported experiencing an out-of-body sensation, where they were able to perceive their surroundings almost entirely after death. The investigation results showed that the detailed memories of patients' perceptions in these cases matched verified events. Experts at the University of Liège in Belgium also conducted a study on 154 cases of patients who survived after clinical death. Almost all of them described 3 similar sensations they experienced, including feeling peaceful, as if flying through a long tunnel, and seeing a bright light at the end of the tunnel. However, the order in which these sensations appeared was not entirely consistent. Only 20% of those surveyed said that they initially felt that they were leaving their physical body, then moved through the tunnel, and finally saw a bright light at the end of the tunnel. According to experts, this shows that each person's near-death experience is unique and may depend on their language and culture. This data is consistent with another study conducted by researchers from the United States. Over nearly 4 years, they collected stories from patients who had experienced clinical death due to heart failure. The scientists also interviewed doctors and nurses who had participated in the patient's resuscitation process. Surprisingly, most of the survivors were able to remember the healthcare workers' conversations and actions quite accurately. 1/3 of the patients reported that everything seemed to happen very slowly, and time appeared to stop when they were near death. According to American scientists, the brain does not die with the heart, but, on the contrary, it begins to function at twice the speed. The brain's production of dopamine, a pleasure hormone, plays a crucial role in increasing cognitive processes by 12 times. Therefore, those who are about to die often feel peaceful while experiencing rapid thinking. 65% of the surviving patients who had experienced clinical death confirmed this. Additionally, at the time of exhaling, the level of serotonin hormone secretion increases, activating many corresponding receptors in the brain. These receptors are linked to visual hallucinations, the feeling of the soul leaving the body, or the bright light at the end of the tunnel, which is thought to be the result of the happiness hormone being released in this case. Researchers from Israel explained that near-death experiences reflect the brain's inaccurate function. Under conditions of oxygen deprivation due to cardiac arrest and insufficient blood flow, the feeling of remembering all the events in life may be the result of activating the frontal lobe and the anterior thalamus of the brain. These areas are supplied with blood and oxygen longer than other areas and stop working last. All of this indicates that the brain can continue to function for a period after the heart stops beating, and consciousness is still maintained. Although scientists have tried to provide many explanations for mysterious spiritual phenomena, including near-death experiences, this topic still remains controversial. Until now, the research community continues to seek the most reasonable answer to the connection between the material and spiritual worlds. Does the afterlife really exist? That is a question that no one can know the exact answer to. Each person will have a different opinion about spiritual things such as the soul, hell, and karma. However, whether from a religious or scientific perspective, it cannot be denied that the spiritual world is closely connected to the material world. Nevertheless, life after death still contains many mysteries. What do you think about this issue? Leave a comment so we can know, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support me. Goodbye and see you again.